The other day, Thanksgiving, we all sat down, just talked around, and we had a conversation, and I started asking a few questions, general questions, kind of interesting questions. I asked everybody what they thought celebrities, how they dress nowadays, and kind of a random question they thought, but they rolled with it. Well, Grandma said, you know, celebrities dress nowadays as very provocatively suggestive. And other people in my family said that they would be more unorthodox, out of the norm. You normally wouldn't see it in the gym. Now, also, something that was hit on was they were always pushing the limits. So I went and argued with them, and I said, well, not all would say that. Some women would say that the celebrities would say they look more gorgeous or even stunning, especially for something they've been working on for months. They want to stunt it. And at the same time, they think they look more mature. So we drew it back a little bit, and we said, okay, let's bring it back more locally. Let's bring it back more at home. Okay? So would you say women, college females, would look still more provocatively, suggestive, or even unorthodox maybe still in the gym, your local gym, Summit? What about pushing the limits in public? We understand it gets hot here, but, you know, are we pushing the limits? Now you go to ask those same women, they would say, I'm trying to look gorgeous. I'm trying to look beautiful to go out to a party. I'm trying to show off my body because of the hard work I've gone through. I want to show what I've created. And yet, they still want to look more mature in any way possible. So we went on more deeper, and we started thinking, okay, how about cheerleaders? Would you? They're tasked to incite the audience for excitement. They're there to incite. Would you say more for their acrobatics or skills, their talents? Or would you say more or less for allure and glam? So we went even deeper and started talking about marriage. So now, does marriage justify sex happening between the two individuals? Well, my grandma went on to say, isn't that what marriage is? And then I changed it a little bit. I said, okay, what about without their consent? What about when she said no? It's still marriage, correct? Oh. What if I were to tell you we live in this new world where society has deteriorated enough to accept the repercussions against women, the objectification of women, and even to some extent, sexual assault, all based upon their looks and even their mannerisms. Welcome to this new world of what we call rape culture. And I like to think rape culture is a place where twisted words are to it's twisted words for the social attitudes, society's attitudes, to normalize and support a predator. And a good example of that is, well, that's just Steve. He's normally a good guy. So ultimately, it's the desensitization of society in actually understanding the definition meaning of rape. And rape is sexual activities, more so sexual intercourse, where the activities are forcibly and in times there are threat of injury against that individual's own free will. Now, this is not a gesture. This is action. So, men need to take responsibilities for their actions and thoughts. Now, this is not to tell women how to control their mannerisms. This is not to deny women on what their attire should be. This is merely the intent to change the paradigm of thoughts in men to it's mainly to change the mindset of men so they're not judging a woman's expressive sexuality that they normally display nowadays. So 3 things that contribute to rape culture are, I think, power, popularity, and reputation. A good example of power would be Harvey Weinstein. He was the head producer of Miramax, where he sexually harassed Amy Judd, where to the point she was afraid of alienating Weinstein because of his power. So she stayed quiet. The next example for popularity would be Anita Hill with Mr. Thomas. He's he's a Supreme Court justice now. He was nominated in 1991, where Anita actually came forward and said and addressed to the courts that Mr. Thomas actually sexually assaulted her, where she was judged by a panel of all male who questioned her, saying, "Why are you the only individual scrutinizing this man's entire life where everyone else is commemorating him, praising him?" The last one would be reputation. And a good example of reputation would be none other than Brock Turner. Brock Turner, if none of you know, was an athletic swimmer for Stanford who sexually assaulted an unconscious female who was intoxicated at a party. That is punishable up to 14 years in prison, where he was only sentenced to 6 months. He only served 3 of those months because of good behavior. The judge said that anything more would actually affect and severely impact this boy's life. And his father even said, this is a steep punishment for only 20 minutes of action of his 20-plus years in life. Intoxication is not an invitation. So let's reverse role this. Let's say that a male gets raped. Okay, nowadays, shoot, you got laid or you had sex. Why are you complaining? So let's revisit this. Men need to take responsibilities for their actions and thoughts. So who needs to take responsibility in here in order to demote this new world of rape culture? Is it the raped victim, or is it the scrutinizing individual? There's a lot of common sayings, Netflix and chill, right? It's not me, it's you. Men, we must shut up and step up and take responsibility for our actions and thoughts. We cannot fuel this new world of rape culture.